Good.
Well, obviously, the setback that you guys didn't want last week, how do you feel like you guys have gone about trying to overcome that and come back together and get back to work this week?
Yeah, I think we've had a good week of practice. We've put in some different packages this week to help, rest some guys. It's, week 5? And, we've had a pretty tough schedule up until now. So just trying to stay healthy and all those kind of things. But I feel like we're ready. We need to go out and have a great week against Northeastern, another great opponent. MIAA school, we know what we're going to get every week. It's a hard physical game, so we're just we're excited to get this bad taste out of our mouth from last week.
How capitalize on those opportunities, and I know that's something that Coach Higgins talked a lot after the game, was making sure points off turnovers and points in the red zone, try to improve that. What have you guys been working on this week to try to make sure you take advantage of the opportunities you get?
Yeah, without a doubt, got to be better in the red zone. Got to be better after turnovers. Our defense is doing an outstanding job. When we have our red zone periods, we're being extra focused, doing things at a high level. If it's not the way we want it to look, we'll do it over again. And yeah, clearly it's critical. We talk about winning the critical areas here, and that's one of them. Help you win games. So it's been a huge emphasis this week.
I know we don't probably look at records, but Northeastern, before coming into this, how do you maybe put that to the side, just stay focused on what you can control versus maybe knowing off a loss, maybe an opportunity to get back on track this week?
Yeah, like I said, it's another week in the MIAA. You're never just going to roll your helmet out there and get a win. So this team's physical. Every year I've played them 4 times. Every time, they're gonna pop you a little bit. They're gonna play hard, but we just got to stay focused on going 1-0 this week.
What stands out about their defense from what you see?
They're fast to the ball. Like I said, just overall, just a physical group. And got to do our job and match physicality and come out hot this week, score points early, don't let them get a lead and make sure we feel comfortable and stay that way.
Thank you.
Vince.
Is this the time where Coach Higgins uses the earmuffs and blinders? Have you guys heard that yet?
We heard it last week, that's for sure. Our rank dropped, whatever. I mean, to me, that stuff never really matters. You just got to go out there every week and play regardless you're ranked high, low, whatever. I mean, to us, it doesn't really matter. But, yeah, we've heard a little bit of it. Earmuffs and blinders, baby.
And unfortunately see, Garner go down in that game, and as a group, how do you just, see everybody come together and obviously pick him up and pick up other teammates when obviously you don't want to see that. So what was that like, just to kind of, be able to pick up your teammates?
Yeah, hate to see our Q go down. Never, it's part of football. It's injuries. Injuries happen. But, Chase came in there, stepped up, did a great job. He's been here. He's been here as long as I have. So, I think they're both great quarterbacks. Whoever's in there is doing a great job for us. And I think we get Gunner back healthy this week, so we're excited about that.
That's all I got, man. Appreciate it.
Landon.
Tommy, can you explain what a stinger back is?
Yeah, it's basic answer would just be a tight end, but I always explain it as the most versatile position on the field, being a pass catcher, run blocker, pass blocker, everything in between. Part of the reason why I enjoy this job so much.
About the strip sack you had against Northwest Missouri, when you see the guy and he's looking the wrong way and doesn't see you coming and everything opens up for you like that, you're just going to get to tee off. How does that feel?
Oh, it's the best view you can get anywhere. I don't care about vacations, anything. That's what I want to see every day. So, no, but coming off like that, it's always fun. You got to control emotions. We practice a lot of just celebrating with one another rather than celebrating against somebody. So, yeah.
How has it been playing with that club on your left hand certainly didn't impact you on that play.
No, I think I have dropped about 2 interceptions this year. I'd like them to be put down in the book, but, look down and see a club, it's kind of tough. But other than that, I mean, it's really training me to work with my hands a lot better. I know in the past my coaches have gone on me because of it. I really just like to hit. So instead of just going up and hitting somebody, I can use my hands, get off them, and create a play for myself. So it's bittersweet. I mean, it's harder to clamp, harder to wrap, but at the same time, it is making me a better football player. So.
And Northeastern State, they've played a couple of different quarterbacks this year. They have a ton of different running backs, about 4 different guys that they'll run in a running back, and a lot of different wide receivers. So when you have a team that is so varied in terms of their personnel groupings, and you're not going to know necessarily, well, these are the 4 wide receivers we really need to be concerned about. How does that change how you guys game plan, or does it change anything?
I mean, it changes something here and there. They got an explosive backfield. They're talented. They're an MIAA football team. So, but outside of that, really just getting back to our base defense, working on fundamentals rather than trying to make the big play, working as one, or 11 as one, as Coach Lopo likes to say all the time. As long as we're 11 as one, there's not a lot of teams that are going to do too well against us.
Caleb, I know we don't like to look at records, but coming off a loss there, coming in 0-4, do you view this as an opportunity to get back on track, or do you just block that all out and just say, hey, let's go out and play today, and what happens happens?
No, we don't view them as any other team. They could be the greatest team that are walking into our house or the worst team walking into our house. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're an MIAA football team. We got to go beat them. They're trying to beat us. They're just another roadblock that's in our way to what we want, our goals.
What's maybe working for you, I guess, defensively as a unit to start off the season?
We've been together. This is our 6th year for a lot of us. We got a lot of chemistry going on. So I think just knowing where our guys are going to be and knowing where we need to be to make them right is the most important thing. I think that's the best thing we got for our team as well. So.
Thank you.
Vince?
Caleb, what's the biggest thing that you guys have learned as a group, right? You face a lot of adversity already, big, tough schedule. Maybe not just your unit itself, but just the team as a whole. What have you guys learned so far that you want to continue to take as the season goes along?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing we've learned is that if we could run a completely different defense than Coach Lopo calls, but as long as we're 11 as one, like he always says, as long as we're all on the same page, then like I said before, there's not a lot of offenses that are going to get too many explosive plays, too many plays in general against us. So we just, that chemistry and that bond that we have is what we go back to.
And has Coach Higgins maybe had practice different this week, or has he been the same old Coach Higgins? Obviously, he's been in the league for so many years, and he's seen these ups and downs. Has he talked to you guys differently, or said anything about this game specifically?
No, nothing different. Just same thing. Get your lunch pail and get out here ready to work. It's not anybody special that's coming in. Not anybody who's gonna. They're just an opponent that's in our way. Like I said before, a roadblock that's in our path to our goals. So.
That's all I got, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Landon?
Caleb, I'm curious how your relationship with Coach McDowell has changed throughout the year.
Yeah, he well, for my first 3 years here, we actually didn't have a single linebacker graduate. So I was just kind of stuck back there getting it was really an opportunity just to see all those guys do what they do best. And, once we had a coaching change, I think that was in 21, the first person that came to my mind was Coach McDowell Jace was basically my coach in the position group. We're learning from him left and right. We respected him just the exact same. He stepped in, did a great job with us, and moved back to safeties where it kind of stinks whenever you get a coach leaving on you, but seeing him just really, really change that A5 group around and just being able to be a great coach. Like I said earlier, he was born to do it. So it's fun. It's fun watching him grow. Not only seeing me grow under him, but watching him grow as well.
You call him Coach?
Yeah. It used to be Cap, but now it's got to be Coach. So it's fun.
Thanks, Caleb.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Well, obviously after a game like that, the only how you respond to it. How have the guys responded this week?
They've responded really well. So you're exactly right. You're always kind of now we haven't had a game after the loss, but I feel like that our energy and all those things that are important that you have to have coming off a loss, I think that's been where it needs to be.
Obviously, you never want to lose anybody at any position, certainly not at quarterback. How's Gunnar doing with recovery this week, and what's the plan for quarterback this week?
Yeah, I think that it looks like that he's going to be able to, go on Saturday. So, but it's that's part of it. I will, one thing I will say is that I've said this. You've heard me say this: is that we have very good depth at that position.
And then finally, the guys all coming in here and in Northeastern State, you guys have kind of owned them, and they've been on hard times. But both the guys that talked today for us said, "Hey, this is an MIAA team," and I know that they're leaving the MIAA.
Right.
There's certainly, it appears that they have their full attention. What stood out to you about NSU?
Well, I would go back to their first game, and where they were up against Missouri Western by 14 or more points. I'm not for sure exactly how many, but that ought to tell you right there that they're an improved ball club. And they had the lead last week. So they have a lot of talented athletes on both sides of the football, and being in this league as long as I have and has played as many games as I have, there's no way that we're going to look past anybody.
Coach, I know when you have a guy like Chase Rickey to step in like he did last week, you never want to get to that point, but how do you think he handled that situation?
I thought he handled it great. I thought he did a great job, managed the game the way he needed to, secured the football, ran the offense, made some plays, not only throwing the ball, but also with his legs. And their defense, of course, had a lot to do with a lot of our malfunctioning, I guess you might say. But I thought he did a really – I was very pleased of how he did.
Yeah, and then I know you put last week behind you, but as this week of practice gone, did you change anything up, or did you just kind of stick with what you guys did?
Yeah, we're pretty much built on being a creature of habit. So we've done a lot of the same things typically we do during the course of the game week, and haven't really changed anything up. You might focus in on a certain area more than you would another area. We got to get better in the red zone, right? We got to get better inside the 10. So, there's probably been more of a focus, not that that's never focused on, all right, as bad as we've been in the red zone. You might think that, but I promise you it's not. We focus on it, but maybe it was a little bit more focused on this week.
And then does homecoming add anything for you, or do you just try to treat it like a normal game?
I treat it like a normal game. The one thing about homecoming that's great about it, me being I'm an alum, is that it's the one week where you can look at the school, the community, past, or alumni. You're honoring the past, present, and you're looking towards the future. It's the one week where everybody can come together, and I think that's awesome. From a unity standpoint, and we're gonna take it just like it's a game, regular game. I don't have anybody getting votes for homecoming king. All right, so there's not a dance afterwards we got to go to, so I don't have to worry about any of that. We got to be at the bonfire, and we'll look forward to that on Friday night. But besides that, it's going to be a typical game day for us. You bet.
Vince.
I don't know if I can follow up to that, Coach, but I'll ask it this way. Again, it should be a fun weekend. Again, a good game coming up for you guys. And your favorite term, the trap game. I wouldn't call it that, but in terms of to maintain the success that you guys have had, what is that going to take when you go into a new week each week, coming off a loss?
Yeah, I think just consistency, the consistent mindset, and understanding how difficult it is to be successful in this league and how you have to maintain your focus. And that's where I look at the veterans we have on this football team. If they're doing, which I think they are, doing a very good job of leading this team, they will make sure that is the sole purpose of continuing, to get better regardless of the previous outcome.
And one last thing for me, Coach, obviously you've seen this team succeed. There's been kind of that, as you talked about last year, kind of that roller coaster. How do you avoid that? As you said, some of the red zone stuff has been problematic, but the defense has really held up. How do you kind of stay away from that roller coaster that you guys maybe had a little bit of last year?
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you, Vince. I think, man, I've been here 17 years. It's been a roller coaster every year. All right? I mean, it really has been. It's just the difficulty of the league, and it is shaping up different this year probably than it has in a long time that I can remember, So there's always those years where you struggle in a certain area. I guess the way to overcome it is just to be the best team in the country, and you don't have any weaknesses. But we've always seem to have a little bit of a weakness at somewhere, and right now it's offensively. And that's been something that for us, it's not been that way. It's not, that this is something different. Being able, we're I don't know, 4 out of 12 maybe our last opportunities in the red zone. That's not good enough. That's not good enough to consistently win in the MIAA, and we got to get better in that area, and that's just facts. So I don't know necessarily truly how to avoid it. Man, if I did, I would be on a golf course right now, all right, because I would sell those secrets. I think just understanding, anytime we've had issues, last year, whether it was giving up the big play, okay, that those are just things you focus in on during the course of the week, and hey, sometimes, and this sounds, this isn't coach speak by any means, but you got to make sure you're doing a good job in recruiting. Good football players make good coaches, all right? And smart football players even make them better coaches, all right? And I believe that. So, and it's our job as coaches to figure out how to take advantages of what our skill set is and what our strengths are. And I don't know if this is a long answer. I don't know if it was necessarily what you're looking for, but that's truly how I feel.
No, that was perfect.
Okay. Okay. All right. You bet.
Landon?
Coach, you had that long answer, so I'll just ask you one.
Okay. Yes or no?
Yeah. We talked to Caleb Mondi and Tommy Zimmerman, a couple older guys, but what have they meant to your program?
Oh, man. The veteran guys that have been here for 4 or 5 years, some of them 6, they mean a great deal. We talk about family over everything here, and that's who they are to me. They each one, they have different stories to tell. Their journey's been different, both of them. Tommy played early as a freshman, and Mondi's kind of worked his way each year here to having a bigger role. And those are the things that I love about this football program and love about just recruiting players and the guys staying here, developing here, growing and getting to know their teammates. And I know Tommy is Mondi, he's getting ready to get married here after the season. And I'm sure there's going to be players in his wedding. I think he's getting married in Guatemala or something like that. But I'm sure there's going to be some guys go. And Tommy, Tommy's met some of his best friends are on this football team, and then just from a player standpoint, like I said, they are I've said this before in recruiting, are finding guys that are our kind of guys in our football program, and those two, they're an epitome. They're what you want. When we go out and recruit football players, those are the type of guys we want in our football program. That was a little bit longer.
Yeah, no, that'll work.
I got one more for you. Just talk about first sheriff going into Hall of Honor.
Man, you guys are asking me a lot of like emotional questions, like about players and how long they've been here, and now asking about the first quarterback that really, I feel like really helped establish. He did. He helped establish and get us to the point we're at right now. Like Tyler Eckenrode is who I'm talking about. He was the first one that really set the stage for the guys that followed him. We won 10 games for the first time in school history since we went to Division II, and won went to a postseason bowl game, won that. He broke a lot of the records, the majority of the records that have been broken by these other guys that have come after him. Was really the first quarterback I recruited in a true recruiting class. Where you had a full year to get established, and then you went into that next year recruiting. Tyler was a part of that class, so it's special. It means a great deal to me. He's going to come and visit with the team tomorrow. That's going to be important to me, and I know visit with the quarterbacks. A lot of lineage. I don't even know if I use the right word, but man, there's been some quality quarterbacks that have played here, and he's the first one. I feel like during my time that did some great things.